Hi, this is Kim with www.embody-light.com, and I will leave my website linked in the description below. So today's video is a follow-up to my last video, Energy 101. And the main reason I'm making this video is so many people, clients, and just stuff I see on the internet are always trying to channel guides, their guides. They're trying to connect with ascended masters, that kind of thing. And that itself is okay, but it's actually secondary. The first connection we should be making is to Source Prime Creator. So this isn't really all that difficult, but there's some aspects of it that I haven't talked to up to this point. And it's a way of understanding and making that connection with Source primary and a lot easier to understand. Now, part of the reason people do this is because Source feels intangible. A lot of people have been raised with a lot of religious dogma that tells us that we have to go through another to get to Source, that kind of thing, and none of that is actually true. And then, there were a lot of religions were all created by man. They were not created by Source or spirit or anything. All of these religions were meant to take us away from our true nature, not enhance it. And so they were all written by man. Some of it was inspired spiritually, some of it was not. But if you make that connection with Source, and that's a firm connection, you'll easily be able to get guidance from other types of beings, but Source is your first connection. So, as I talked about in my last video, I think it was called Energy 101, there's basically 4 dimensions to the human. And I've got some drawings to kind of show what I'm talking about. So, the first one is our physical aspect, which is obvious. But then we have the human energy field, or the aura. That's the second aspect. And as you see, here's the human body. Red would be next to the skin. That's the root chakra. Then orange, that's the sacrum. Yellow is the solar plexus. Green is the heart. Light blue, that is your throat. Dark blue, that's your third eye. And the purple is what comes in through the top of your head at your crown chakra. So, and just to reiterate, your chakras work together to the number 1. So your very highest level, your purple, actually is connected with the physical level. And so things that happen or that you interpret as coming from Source are going to affect you in the physical. Say, for instance, Source or any authority figure, if you had a real strong religious background that told you weren't worthy, that kind of thing. You had a cruel, and it's usually father figures on this one, a cruel father, cruel teacher, cruel anything, brother, that would be considered an authority figure. That's going to block experiences in your root chakra, in your physical experience. And so got those first 2 dimensions. Then the next dimension, and this is how we connect directly to Source. So it's called the hairline, and it runs right directly through the middle of your body. Looks like a golden thread. So when you incarnate, there's 3 different points on this line. The first point is the ID point. That's the individuation point, that you individuated from Source for this lifetime. And this point is all about the reason you incarnated or chose to come into this lifetime. That's what this has to do with. Next, we go down and we see the soul seat. And the soul seat, that's going to be about 1 to 2 inches in diameter, but this can actually expand up to 15 feet when you meditate. And so this is about this is your higher heart, your spiritual heart. It's not the heart chakra though. Higher heart, spiritual heart, 5th dimensional heart, you'll hear it that way sometimes. That's the seat of your soul. And what it does is it carries all of our spiritual longings that are specific to our life purpose. So say your life purpose was to be a healer, you would have, this is the area that you would energize it with. You dream about it, you think about it, you set things in motion by having this area activated. Now, the next level I'm going to talk about is the Tantium. So then you go down in the line, and the Tantium, and I've got some notes here that I'm looking at because I don't have all this memorized, is about 1.5 inches below your navel. Now, this is actually, I would call this your power center, your physical power center. It holds the one note that you were created with. It's the will center. And with clear intention, with all of these, this is what's going to draw these experiences and energize them into your life, basically. This is your power center, excuse me. People that do martial arts, this is the center they gather their strength from. And so it's also the center of your gravity. So then from there, and I don't have a picture, this Tantium, the line goes down below our bodies, straight into the middle of the earth, into the molten core of the earth. You gather up energy and strength for your physical experience, and it feeds back into the Tantium. So people who do martial arts or Tai Chi or any kind of yoga spiritual practice where they're balancing this hairline, they're really doing a lot for their spirituality and connecting to source. So then the next part I'm going to show you is called the core star. Now your core star is on a deeper level than the hair level. This is your divine essence, the source of creative energy. It's the source of life within. We make the connection through the universe through this, and we have direct communication with source. This is both our internal and external source, or God within and God without. So what that means is this area is all of you. It's all of your experience, past, present, and future. This is who you've always been and who you always were, is contained in this area. So when we're recalling past life memories, we're actually pulling memories out of this area. So this area, like I said, or if I didn't say it, it's at a deeper level than even the hairline is, and all those points on within it. Your inner knowing and your intuition. And whenever we hear things like we have all the tools within us to help us, that's when we pull from this. People who do writing, they're actually writing about experiences. How could I say that? It's the source within. So sometimes when you write, people will have writer's block. But when they're open, they're getting knowledge from this area here. It could be poetry you write that's related to a past life situation, or a story that you write or think of. You're actually pulling memories out of here. Also, when you see like children that have certain talents that they just seem to be born with that seem supernatural, but like a 3 or 4-year-old that's a concert pianist, they're actually pulling from this area and remembering past life memories. So, and this is also the area where we connect and have communication with source. You ask a question of source, and it's eventually going to come to you once you're quiet enough to hear it, and it's going to come like from deeply within. So that's what we mean by internal and external. We take this piece of source with us, it's always within us, and then there is also an external source, the Father, the God, the prime creator. That. So all of this being said, we bring our purpose in. We go down through the body, through the different points. It energizes it. We love it. And as we connect to the earth, that energizes it, and things just start coming into our reality. When this hairline is balanced, and straight. That's when we have those wonderful days where everything just works out perfectly. You pull into a parking lot and the perfect parking space is open. No stoplights. You run into people you love, that kind of thing. When you're having just one of those good days, that's because your hairline is aligned and you're working out those points on it. So, all that being said, I have, and it's going to precede this and follow this. I have made a recording, and I may redo it. I might want it to sound a little bit different. I think there were some I live by an airport, so I'm always fighting with the airplanes on recordings. So there was a little bit of an airplane noise in the beginning. I might redo it, but what I did was I have certain bowls, and I'm going to show you that activate and enliven these points. So I made a recording, and you're definitely going to hear there's no talking in it. It's just the tones with the singing bowls, but you're definitely going to hear the change in the frequencies and the notes. So the first, and each area plays for about 5 minutes. So the first point, the ID point, is a real high pitched, almost, I wouldn't say annoying, but to some people it might be annoying. And that's your individuation point, and that is the first point in your hairline that you connect with Sorce. So for that, the bowl I play, and I'll have to tell you the story about the synchronicity of these bowls too. The bowl I play is it's actually a sacral bowl, but it's a high sacrum, a very high frequency, and it's what aligns this point. It's going to align it with this one and this one. So that's the first bowl. Then, and because these are made of different kinds of crystals, not just the regular quartz crystals, they carry different frequencies and different purposes. So this one works for this, and I'll go back to the story on the bowls that I was going to tell you about. Years ago, I had gotten 2 sets of alchemy bowls, not really knowing what I was well, they were for a specific meditation, but I didn't realize these were the bowls that I needed to connect with the hairline and the different points on the hairline. So this one, the azezulite, is the one that will be played at first for the ID point. And when I play it, I'm actually striking it 13 times, and then I play it for a while. And this bowl, just because of the way it's made, it's somewhat clear, but then it's got this rough stuff. It does sound a little scratchy, so I'll just show you. It's high and it's kind of a little bit scratchy, but not too bad. So that's the first part you're going to hear on the meditation. So if you listen to the following video and you hear this point, your attention should be about 3.5 feet above your head at that ID point, at your reason for your incarnation. The next set of bowls I'm going to play I'm just going to play them right now. I've got a moldavite heart, a rose quartz heart, and I've got an F sharp in clear. An F sharp is actually the note that's going to activate and enliven your soul seat. So it'll switch from this down to this. And it's very obvious. So when you hear that switch, then you bring your attention down to this part of your chest. It's between your throat and your heart chakra. It's in the upper chest. Then the next point that I bring you to is the Tantium, and that's where you gather the energy and strength from the earth, and this is your focal strength point of your physical body. And so those are quite a bit lower. So I've got this one, which is a D sharp, which would be the actual note. And then I've got this one, which is also a D, but this one is made with platinum. So it's a little bit higher of a frequency. So when it drops, there's a big difference here to here. When it drops, you're going to know to bring your attention down to this area. Now, when I do this with intention, I will actually feel a lot of buzzing and energy in that tantium. And those are the days that I just create everything just boom, 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 when that's really active and I actually feel it buzzing. So that's going to play for a little bit. Those are those notes. Now, this other alchemy bowl I have, this is a C, and this is actually for the root chakra, but this is a grandfather bowl, and it's actually made with iron, and in the molten core of the earth, um, it's a very high percentage of iron. So this connects you with the molten core of the earth. So after I play this for a while, I start playing this bowl. And it's another lower drop in frequency. And once you hear that, then you imagine that your tantium down through your hairline connects you straight into the center of the earth, and you feel the molten energy activating your tantium. But as I'm playing this, what happens is it's a lower frequency. But as I play it longer and longer, my frequency increases and it starts to play a real high pitch. So that's what you're going to hear at the very end. And when you hear that real high pitched, what it is, pitched noise, what it is the tantium is actually heating up. When people are doing healing with other people, this actually will turn, it's normally more of a bright yellow orangey color, kind of gold, but it's going to turn bright red as it heats up. So a lot of people have this where when they're doing healing work or meditating or whatever, where they just start getting hot, like they're having like hot flashes, but they're not hormonal. What it is we are um, the difference between Sorce and us. I mean, there's many, but Sorce is a crystalline energetic structure. We are carbon based. So our bodies are changing from a carbon based structure as we ascend into a crystalline structure. And it does this by heating up. And it happens in small increments because humans, we couldn't handle um, a big influx of energy and being heated up all at once. It just, we couldn't do it. So when that frequency at the very end switches to a very high pitched frequency, a high C. If you're one who sees colors, you might start seeing like a magenta red or a crimson red color. You're going to know that you're really connected with the molten core of the earth and that it's heating up your tantium. So, with that being said, I'm going to actually be having an online Zoom class May 19th. It's a Sunday. It'll be 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk in a little bit more detail about this. I'm going to be teaching about this in a little more detail, and there'll be time for questions and channeling in that. But then I'm making a video with just the sounds to go along with this, and people can do their own meditation. But this is also going to be, in addition to the teaching, a guided meditation that will specifically activate these points and put your hairline into alignment. So that will be listed on my website, and you can sign up and purchase a ticket, and then I will send you a Zoom invite. And again, that's going to be Sunday, May 19th at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So that being said, I love you all. Have a blessed day. And again, my website is www.embody-light.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.